All right, welcome guys to another edition of the Root Trader, where we show you how to make money in crypto. So very excited to be here, and we want to talk about what's going on with crypto. Is ETH going to crash? Is Bitcoin going to crash down, or have we reached the low point of this temporary correction? Right. So if we have, then we should get a pump. And that's what Austin and I will be talking about today. So, welcome, Austin, and let's get started.
Welcome.
All right. So, if you have any questions, comments, feel free to put that. We will be looking at your comments since we are live. And so, if you think we've reached the bottom, put a comment. Otherwise, I'll give you my points of view why I think this may or may not be the bottom. So, very curious to hear everybody's opinion here. Yeah, let's jump into this. What's going on in the markets? So, as we can see, we've reached support, right? This is daily. Let's go to like 4 hour. We've been at the same support, which is the 20,000. You can see it very clearly. Massive crash. And funny, if you're in a pay to trade as a paid member, I told you that 20,000 was like support. And guess what? That's exactly what's been going on, exactly as I predicted. So, what do you think about that, Austin? Exactly as I
Yeah,
predicted.
you you don't miss very often. I haven't seen you miss yet, actually. So
I'm just using that language because every crypto YouTuber out there always use that exactly as I predicted, right? Like somehow they have this magic wand, to control the price.
they're all time travelers.
Yeah, that's right. No, but it just makes a lot of sense that we would get a temporary bounce here. But I have to tell you, the longer we stay in this zone, and without breaking above and bouncing off that yellow line here, then the more risk we fall that this breaks. And so that might even break today. I'm not trying to be a bearish person or anything because it has not broken. And as you're watching this, you might wonder what could possibly cause Bitcoin to break. And we know if Bitcoin breaks, Ethereum is going to break too, right? We got a support here for Ethereum. So, what could possibly cause it to break, Austin? What do you think about that?
We got a lot of things coming up in the future that are speculative as to how the market will react. We
There you
have
go.
the rates coming out increasing. We don't know how much exactly they're
Yeah,
planning on
in the
increasing the
short
interest
term,
rates.
that's true. I mean, today, if it breaks today, what will cause it to break? And you said it, it's the markets. So let's take a
Oh
look at,
yeah,
yeah, and the markets have not opened yet, but they will open. And let me show you
oh
why.
they just opened.
Oh, they just opened. That's right. It's 8:30 here. Okay, great. So let's see where they open. So for that, we have our indicators, and we're going to look at the S&P 500. So we have an opening in a red candle. Now it's not a long red candle or anything, but it's still red. Or no, it's open a little bit up from yesterday, right? Because we opened there. Oh, no, okay, so it's opened down. You can see that it opened yesterday. The candle closed here, and now we're down just a bit. But we are at the support, and the big question is, right? Let's go to a longer time frame, like 3 days. The big question is, are we going to hold this support? Because we held 2 times before, 3 times in fact, then had a pump, right? And now we're retesting it. And the question is, are we going to hold? And if we hold, then guess what? Bitcoin will hold too, right? If that does like this, Bitcoin will pump at least until what? It will. If it pumps, it will pump until what? We talked about that. You just said it. Until next week.
Yeah, so
Next week when we announce
the rates going up,
the
the
interest rate.
more interest
That's right.
rates. Yeah.
Which is expected to be 75 basis point. However, if let's say Powell says, fuck it, we're not going to do a 75 basis point. We'll do a full 1 point basis, one full percent on the interest rate, then that will be very bearish. Now markets are crashing, and it's set up to be like that right now it is very scary, when you look at the markets of what's going on, that Powell is going to increase the interest rate. And why would he do that, you think, Austin? What would be why would Powell, you know,
Well, he
try
wants you to stay broke.
yeah, well,
Simple.
that's right. And why would he want us to stay broke? Is only one reason, is because the inflation rates are not based, they're not going down. Now, they try to screw you, they try to screw us. I did a bit of like research on this. And what they've been doing, it seemed like the oil price had been going down, right? It's not actually been going down, okay? What they've done is the US government has been using their reserves. Okay, so when we look at the inflation data, we saw that energy price were going down, oil was going down. Not true. The reason it's been going down is the government has been using their oil reserve. As a result, it makes inflation number look good. And what I really wonder is what the inflation numbers are going to be on the next month when we go to the October numbers, which is probably October 13th again, right? So that's going to be a very interesting data when we start to look at the inflation data and the price of oil, right? Now it looks like it's going down right now over the past, and I hope that's going to like continue. But as the America starts to purchase oil, I predict that the price will go back up. Remember, they've not been buying oil, so the oil price has been literally going down because they've not been buying it. Does that make sense? Mm.
Perfect.
So, yeah, my wife is interrupting her live to get a charger. Can you believe that? All right.
Hmm.
So, all right. That's where we are as far as kind of what I think about what's going to happen. So until the announcement of the interest rate, we'll come back live. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you really want to know how to trade this, we do recommend. I don't think we have the information in the description yet. Austin will add that later. But we have the pay to trade system, and it's a paid monthly membership to show you how to make money as a trader. And so it's very good. We are here to show you exactly how to make money during this bear market. And funny enough, we are pretty good at it. Not to boast my own horn or anything, but I don't think I am. I think I'm just being accurate. That I'm quite good at it, and the reason I say that is because I've been able to predict pretty much everything that is going to happen before they happen, allowing people to buy the bottom, sell the top, buy the bottom, sell the top, because that's pretty much what we've been doing. If you're a paid member, and of course, you're more than welcome to actually join that. And you can do that by going to our website, which is paytotrade.com, right? So let me share that with you. That's what it looks like. Pay to trade professional cryptocurrency mentorship program. And guess what? It's very cheap to learn how to trade like a multi-millionaire. Yes, I'm a multi-millionaire. You can find out about me, a few pictures of mine here. But it's only $50 a month. Why don't you give it a try and see how you like it? I'm telling you, everybody who's joined really loves it. They are raving fans, okay? So please join that if you want to learn more about how to make money with the markets. Back to our trading view. Let's talk about Ethereum, obviously. So Ethereum, I think, is going to follow what Bitcoin is going to do. So you want to keep an eye out on this support here at about exactly 20,000, and that's exactly where Bitcoin is. It's been kind of ranging at this support line, exactly where I said it would before it crashed. When it crashed, I said there was somebody saying, "Oh, I think it's going to be 2021." I said it's not going to be 21. It's going to be exactly 20, and that's exactly what we've been holding like support. Now, the reason I'm changing my mind now that it might not hold at 20 is only because of what's going on in the markets, as I'm saying. So what do you think, Stan? Do you think markets are going to hold at the S&P 500? We're retesting support right now as we're talking. This is what's going on. We are literally retesting like support. And you think we're going to hold? You think the market is scared right now that everything's going to go to shit, right? And people
Yeah.
it's not going to take the risk.
It could go down. It could. I personally think that, this is history in the making right now. The Ethereum merge has never been done before, proof of work to proof of stake. It's a big deal. But Obviously, it won't show in the markets right away, especially for Ethereum. But I think long term, this is going to pay off big time for Ethereum. I think in the long term, we will see it all come back up, especially Ethereum, whether it uh, goes through the resistance or not, or support.
Yeah, and if you're holding ETH, I decided to hold my ETH. Not sure I made a mistake or not, but because there possibly will be a fork, and if there's a fork, the people who own ETH will be airdropped an Ethereum based on that fork. You get what I'm saying? So if doesn't matter if you have to make sure your exchange, if you're using an exchange, supports that. But if it doesn't, so of course we have the ETH 2.0. So that there's nothing you need to do; it's automatically changed. But if there's a fork, right, then you will be airdropped based on your wallet the fork, and Binance promised that it would do that for all the ETH holders. So that means you get an equal amount to what you have, right? So let's have 100 ETH in the 2.0, and there's a fork that's created, then I will be airdropped 100 ETH of that fork. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I didn't sell. I held on to it because I thought, yeah, if that happens, I wonder what the price would be. And I bet you it's worth the risk, but that is time will tell. So will there be a fork or not? We don't know. So this is real time. Everything is happening in real time here, guys. So I logged into my account, see if there was any notifications. I didn't see anything. How many of you on this live, maybe you have Ethereum? What are you doing? What's your strategy about ETH, right? Like I'm holding ETH and I'm just going to wait to see if there's a fork. But you know what? Let's do some price predictions for fun. This is not financial advice, right? But let's say by 2024, right? Let's do a long-term one first, and then we'll do a
Mhm.
short-term one by the end of this year. Yeah, let's have some fun, right? So let's say by 2024, 2025, at the peak of the next bull cycle, put a comment and tell me what you think the ETH price is going to be. Now, keep in mind, it's now ETH is deflationary. I want to find the website to share that with you. Meaning, like now, ETH there was being more supply added with the ETH 1.0. Now with ETH 2.0, it's deflationary. They're burning ETH. I don't know if you knew that. That will be very, very good on the long term, right, for Ethereum because there will be less supply as time goes by. So now ETH is more deflationary than Bitcoin. As you know, nobody's making more Bitcoin, but ETH has now added that additional benefit where it's deflationary from the merge. This is one of the benefits of Ethereum 2.0. It's a deflationary asset. Now, let's have some price prediction. Austin, what do you think ETH's going to be by 2024, 2025? What is your
I
price
think
prediction?
by 2024, uh, Ethereum will overtake Bitcoin in price, not just market cap.
Wow,
And
very strong. In price?
yeah, yeah,
You mean a higher
right.
price?
Then Bitcoin.
If Bitcoin is 200,000, you're saying one ETH will be 210,000 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're very bullish on ETH. I've never heard that
I
before.
think so.
Wow. Well, Jordan says I'm a little bit less bullish than you. He says about 5,500, and I'm
Hmm.
probably in between what you guys are. I'm at least 10,000 minimum, probably in terms of 15,000. That's what I predict is going to be. So let's see who's going to be right. So I'm going to put my prediction here in writing. My prediction is 15,000 by the peak of the next bull cycle, which is 2024, 2025, right?
Hmm. Put that in a time capsule.
Well, that's what my prediction right here, right? And Austin predicts higher price than Bitcoin.
Yeah. I don't have an exact price, but
Yeah, I get that. But why do you predict such a high price? Why are you so bullish on ETH? I mean, it is better technology. It's faster. It's more safe. It's better in every
right.
single way. I mean, people don't get that, but Bitcoin is actually an old technology now, right? Like if you
It's
really think
obsolete
about it,
almost.
not really. It's still that's why people call it digital gold. And
Hmm.
you have a very strong follower. But yes, I am seeing. This is a hardcore fan of Bitcoin, die die core. Die hard fans, right? Like they would do, like they're so passionate about like Bitcoin.
Yeah,
But lately,
Bitcoin billionaires.
yeah. But lately we've
Bitcoin
been
made
seeing,
billionaires.
that's right. Lately, we've been seeing a bit of a shift, and people are moving away from this diehard fan of Bitcoin, and they're now thinking that it's going to be more Ethereum because it's better technology on the blockchain. I agree with that. I think, like, if you use your brain a little bit, I'm a developer, and we're like developers, Austin and I, so we get that because, when we create anything on the blockchain, you got to understand, even our technology is better than Bitcoin, right? Like LockPay is
Hmm.
better than Bitcoin. Maybe not as, it doesn't have the wide adoption that Bitcoin does, but the technology is much better, in fact, right? Much faster, everything, right?
Hmm.
So I'm just putting your prediction live. So yeah, Austin says predicts ETH higher than Bitcoin price. That's what I said. Whatever price going to Bitcoin, and I estimate that Bitcoin is going to be around 200,000. Okay, I've got two little kids. We're traveling, and they're just spying on us. So hey guys, Daddy's working. I'm actually live here, and you're interrupting my life. So get back in there before I kick your butts, both of you. Almost done. All right. Well, my kids are hungry. I got to end this soon. But, I want to do another price prediction by the end of the year. Okay. So, what I do want to put the comment that Dogecoin Gaming just put. Says, hope everyone's doing good. I predict 12,000. Well, Dogecoin Gaming and I have the same prediction. I also predict that it'll be between 10 and 15,000, and at 12,000, that's pretty close to my number. Somebody's going to win, but I'll tell you what. I'm not sad if I own ETH right now and ETH was to crash. I'm very cash positive. I just buy more, because you're right. Like if we think about where it's going to go, we're getting a bargain price compared to where it's going to be. We are in a accumulation zone, isn't it? So I was telling people, like, you guys don't get it. Like, the Bitcoin price is a freaking bargain right now. Like, you can't go wrong buying, like, even if you went all in right now and just held till 2024, let's say Bitcoin goes to 175,000, doesn't go to 200. Come on, that's a huge amount of money. Let's say it went to 200,000, that's a 10x. We're Bitcoin, we're not talking altcoins even. Altcoins is a different game. When we coach people in our pay to trade system, of course, we teach them to be more careful on altcoins because they could still crash more. But that's a different story. But ETH and Bitcoin are very safe investments. Doesn't mean we reached the bottom yet. We just have to wait and see what the market's going to do. But yeah, let's talk about our prediction. By the end of the year, I predict I predict that Ethereum will be 5,000. Okay? What about you?
End of the year. That's
Ethereum will be
two
5,000.
months from now.
But no,
2 months from now, yeah?
no, then we were what,
Or three.
September?
We're September.
3 month and a half.
Um,
Okay, I'm gonna say, to be more fair, between 4 and 5.
4,500. We'll say 40.
I just said I just said between 4 and 5. Oh, yeah,
That's
we're good at. What
okay. I
about
gotta
you
be
guys?
different than you.
What about you guys? Put in a comment. Where do you think that ETH will be by the end of the year? What's your prediction? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Do you think perhaps because the government's not going to pivot, it might be lower? Well, crypto control says 4,000 is very possible. Yeah, I see. I predict, like, if you join my pay to trade, I'm predicting my big trade is like Bitcoin, buy it, whatever, DCA into it, and I think by the time we're the end of the year, yes, September is not a good month. It's a traditionally a bad month. October could be also bad. It could be good, but November, we're going to talk about that. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to understand why I predict November will be more bullish and less bearish. But you need to subscribe if you want to learn why I think that, and that November we may see a switch and a bounce. Now, I'm not saying that bounce is forever and that we're not going to experience any reversal. But I do predict that November we will get a bounce, and that's why I'm more bullish on Ethereum and Bitcoin during that time. Even altcoins will pump. Eli, though, he's more bearish. Jordan Clark, sorry. Uh, he predicts 1400. So, two hundred less than what it is now, right? So, obviously, Jordan might wait to buy Ethereum because he's not bullish, and I understand that. But you have to look at many different factors to make the right prediction, and it's more of a game than anything else. So that's why it's a bit of fun to predict and make these like predictions. But obviously, the way you predict, our job as a trader is really to predict the future, isn't it? Like that's what we're doing, right? Like your job is to say, okay, yeah, I've got a crystal ball. Here's what my price prediction is, and here's how I'm utilizing my thesis and my strategy. Okay, Jordan says, no, I'm stacking. I'm stacking it. Okay, I like that. But our job is to predict the future. And I'll tell you one thing that I've learned as a professional trader. I've made millions of dollars trading. I will tell you that one of the things I learned is that short term, you can be wrong. So your accuracy is going to be much accurate with the more longer term. Okay? And I have these tools, right, that I use to be more accurate on the long term. But the short term, I might be wrong, even though I've been pretty right. If you're one of my paid members, you see I've been right, left, and center. I've been right, So, but in the long term, it's much more easier to predict the right price. So I think we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I can tell you right now we are getting a bit of a bounce into the S&P 500. That's what we need, baby. We just need that bounce. So if you follow my trading strategies, you will see that what's important is get that green candle on that yellow line. As long as we're doing a higher low, right? And that's very important, what we're looking for, and remain on the support line. This is very bullish, okay? Very bullish. Bitcoin going up. Ethereum is going to crank. I predict that if we are bullish on Bitcoin and we're bullish on the markets, then I believe that Ethereum will also crank very fast, at least in the short term, back to 2,000, a double top at least, okay? And then might even break through to 2,500 in the short term. So just letting you know my price. Now, if on the other hand we were bearish, I'm going to have a very different prediction. But that's where I am right now. Yeah, so Jordan made a comment and he says, just think we have a bit to go before the Fed pivots. Now, when he says the Fed pivots, they mean that, quantitative tightening, quantitative easing. So when they want the markets to pump, they do this quantitative easing, this QE, right? But when they want the markets to crash, like what they're doing now, is they're doing quantitative tightening. And the purpose of that is to reduce the inflation. Because if inflation gets out of control, it can wreck a country. So Powell has no choice but to do some, quantitative tightening. So they're not going to pivot on their plan. They're going to continue to do quantitative tightening, at least to see some progress with the inflation data. So we saw a big red candle because the inflation data wasn't good, right? And that's why what happened is that immediately when the inflation data was released, people panic because what they're thinking is probably Powell's going to tightening more. It's going to do more QT, right? Quantitative tightening. And this is why, people are more bearish. And what would make things even worse, at least temporary, remember that if the government, not the government, but if Powell can, quantitative tightening more in September, October, what we need is we need a bottom. That can happen fast. If the markets crash, there's always a bottom, okay? There's always a bottom, and that bottom can happen very fast. So let's say we bottom, could happen in September, could happen in October. There will be a bounce after the bottom. So nothing goes down forever, just like a rubber ball, right? If you throw a rubber ball on the floor, what does it do, right? It bounces. Whoa, woohoo, right? As a kid, we always did that. The same thing with the markets. So the question we have to go is, what's the long-term trend? Obviously, we all know we're in a downtrend, but downtrends don't continue forever, right? And the question you have to ask yourself is, when does the downtrend end? Where is the F bottom? Okay, that's what we all want to know. And to answer that, we have to look at what the macro level is doing, and that's what he means. That probably Powell's not going to pivot anytime soon, right? But it could happen by October, if not this month. I would say like that. And then by November 13, let's say, when we get the inflation data, let's say it's very positive, that could be a very strong bounce. That's what I predict, right? Now, maybe we start to turn around, because once you found a macro bottom, what happens after, Austin? When the macro bottom has been found, the S&P found the bottom, the Bitcoin found
Well,
the,
everything goes up.
then you're in a bull
The
market.
bull market.
You're in a bull market again, because it may go slowly up as a recession kicks in for 2 years. Because what people don't understand is this, okay? You could be in a downtrend, right? You could have a crash, right? And as you're going down, right? People, what do they call a massive downtrend? A bear market, right? Because what they call it, a bear-like market. But they don't understand. Now people are starting to talk, oh yes, but a recession's like coming, and they're twisting things. A recession and a bear market are not the same thing. They're very different. And if you're brand new at trading, you would not understand that. You would think that, oh yeah, that makes sense. There's a recession, therefore a bear-like market. But which one finishes first? The bear market or the recession? Put a comment. Let me know what you think. But the truth is this. One of them finishes before the other. Does that make sense? They're not equally following the timeline. They're not. That's not how the market works. Because as I'm telling you, a bear market, what is a bear market? It's a long-term downtrend in the markets. So, but remember, nothing goes down forever. Everything has a bottom. It always bounces like a rubber ball. So the truth is, the bear market always ends before the recession. Okay? So the bear market bottom is priced in. The recession is priced in. People are not stupid. They know the recession is going to last for a while. They know probably we might be in a 1 or 2 year recession, but the bear market crash, now it slowly goes up. It's not in a recession. You don't get a V-shaped recovery. Also, you need to understand that. You can get a crash if you're not in a recession, V-shaped recovery. It means it bounced up very fast. But in a recession, things slowly go up over time. So you want to find what the bottom is. So like Jordan says, the bear market comes first, the recession comes second. Understand that. Otherwise, why am I telling you that? Don't be that stupid person who says, well, the recession is not finished yet. Why should I buy? No, by the time the recession is finished, the market pumped like crazy. You get what I'm saying? So you're not looking for the end of the recession. You're looking for the end of the bear market. And to find the end of the bear market, you just got to find where's the bottom. And to find the bottom, subscribe to this channel. It's the only way you'll know, right? Because this is what I do. My job is making money trading. So hope you've enjoyed. If you want to learn how to trade further, make sure to subscribe to the channel, put the bell notifications on, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, guys. See you. Bye for now.